trying to not let the reflection of my glasses show. It's awful, isn't it? I have to go up or down.
Okay, good morning. It is still the morning. I'm really delighted to have Marisa with me. Marisa is a certified professional coach. She's got a really varied background, so legal, charitable, social care, and human resources. And she works with individuals who are dealing with a transitional period in their life, whether that be professional or personal. And she's got a real interest in elevating courageous individuals from feeling trapped under a waterfall of overwhelm, anxiety, and pressure to feeling buoyant with clarity and feeling deeply connected to their values and vision, enabling them to flow freely on their river of dreams. And you'll know from hearing that, Marisa is quite creative in the way that she kind of talks about things. I love it. I love those images there.
Thank you.
And your business, what's your business called?
It's called River Dreams Coaching. I wanted to think of something a bit different and not have my name. For some reason, I just thought, no, I want to have something a bit different. And I realised that for me, being out in nature is always inspiring. And I've always lived by a river. And I just had this analogy of your life can be like a river. So it can either be full, flowing, bending and navigating around life's obstacles, or in drought state and not supporting those that you love, not giving life and just feeling stuck. So that's the analogy I use, and that's why I picked River Dreams. And I live by a river, I always have. I'm a big advocate of walking coaching, so I take my clients walking along the river and everything, and it just helps sometimes, certainly for me, to have that analogy and think of it in terms of those sorts of visions.
I love it. I love those visions and that imagery. So coming back to you, that varied background, what brought you to coach training and made you decide to train with us at Optimus?
I found coaching and Optimus at a time in my life where I was looking for a new direction, looking and really thinking about what do I want my career to look like. You know, I want to have something that I find meaningful and fulfilling, and I want it to be for the rest of my career. I've got another 20 odd years of working, and I want it to really be aligned with what, you know, who I am, what's important to me, and importantly, to remove the things I don't want in my life. So I was at a point of burnout with my work, and I had time off, and so that obviously forced me to really think and look and make decisions, and that's when I found coaching and Optimus, and I found a week-long taster session like it's going on now, and attended, and just felt instantly, oh yes, that's me, that's what I'd love to do. I found it really intriguing, really interesting, all the different subjects, the fact that it was very practical and that's very forward focused, and it's such a positive space to be in for you as the coach and the client. And yeah, I was quite impulsive and instinctive with it, and just went, yeah, this is for me, this is what I want to do. Obviously with my legal background, I was a family law solicitor, and working in charity and fundraising, HR, obviously I've always been a people person. And as I progressed through all the different roles, I've realised more and more how much I love connecting with people, helping and just supporting them. But I wanted it to be really, really in that positive environment. And that's what you create as a coach. So that's what really appealed, and I found it, an eye-opener, very different, not very different, but quite different to what I thought it was going to be, because I hadn't experienced coaching before. So that was great, because it was like, oh, this is really different to actually, you know, it's not giving advice, it's not directing is putting all the not responsibility, but all the ideas come from the client, and it's empowering them, and it's that twist to it that I'm not used to, wasn't used to doing at all, which I found fascinating. And you could really see going through the course how that is the best way to interact and have those relationships.
Yeah. So I loved it that you were new to coaching. It was kind of building on a lot of the stuff that you've done in the past, like in those people-centric roles that you've had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you enjoy most about the course?
I love the fact that I was learning all this new stuff, but it didn't feel like learning. It didn't feel like studying and hard work, because you could come to the sessions and do the coaching and just take on board what was taught that day. And there wasn't that pressure, because obviously at that time I was coming out of burnout and overwhelm and everything. So for me, not having the pressure of, I've got to do all this homework, or I've got to read this and I've got to study that. It wasn't that at all. It was like, if you just turn up and do the work and do the coaching, that's enough to get through. And that was really refreshing compared to all the other studying and the stuff I'd done in the past. The fact that it was practical, a lot of coaching in the course, I loved. And you do need that. It can be quite daunting. But I loved that, because I knew each session, each time I did it, I would come away feeling better, feeling energized and uplifted from it all. And it really felt like me time, actually doing the course, because obviously you're learning a lot about yourself, and you're building really good, strong bonds with your peer group. It's a very safe haven. So it's really valuable to make the most of that from the start, from the off, and immerse yourself in it. And I found it really worthwhile, just letting go and trusting my instinct. And it was very alien to me to not make notes on when you're listening to a client and stuff like that, because I'm so used to doing that. And I was like, I'm never going to remember what they've said. How am I going to remember that? But then for me, I just had made that promise, like, I'm not going to make notes, and I'm not going to keep looking at the competencies. I'm just going to trust my instinct. And the sooner you can do that, the more ingrained and the more natural and the more confident you become with it.
Yeah, I love that you did that. So if you could like solidify your biggest learnings from the program, what would you say they are?
The power of listening fully, actively, fully, and giving people that space, prompting them, because it feels so alien. People aren't used to thinking that deeply and thinking of themselves. It's so often like, oh no, that's selfish, and it's not. It's so important. So giving, and we don't give ourselves that ordinarily. So coaching, I've always found it quite magical. So giving that space and that empowerment to them to find it within themselves is the magical element that I haven't found anywhere else.
Yeah. Okay. I love it as well. And what has happened since you qualified? So when did you qualify again?
So beginning of this year. So I got my certificate through beginning of March.
Yeah.
And so this year I've been working on setting up my business, and really looking at the foundations, the strategy, what I want to achieve, who my ideal audience is, and looking at my messaging, and also trying new things, finding what things I like doing and tapping into that, because you've got to have that enjoyable element as well as the bit that scares you and stretches you. You've got to have, I think, both, because if you're only doing one of them, then you're probably not going to grow as much. So I try and do something that scares me and put myself forward for things that are new to me, like speaking in front of people about who I am, and stepping into that role, because it is very different. So practicing stepping into my coaching persona and saying, this is who I am, this is what I do, and just telling people. So that's what I've been doing this year and working on. And yeah, I've just loved it. I find it very enjoyable.
I'm glad. And you can see that. I can see your love and your passion for it as well. Even when I'm seeing you on socials, it's so nice to see you like out and about, meeting people. You can feel that positive energy. So what would you say to somebody considering training as a coach?
I would say if you're thinking that you'd like to do coaching as a career, or even if you want to use it in your existing role, because anything that involves communication and relationships and making them as best they can be, coaching is ideal. It's a fabulous, for personal reasons, in your personal life to use as well as professional. There's not any element that you don't use when you're coaching, and it can also, it can enhance your personal life. It's just well worth it, definitely.
And where can people, we've got all of your links where people can find out a bit more about you as well. Obviously, it's River Dreams Coaching. So we've got your website, we've got your LinkedIn as well. And I'm just really looking forward to seeing you grow even more. It sounds like you found, building on from your past skills, but you found the thing that really makes you happy. And that kind of, as you said at the beginning, did you say the next 20 years of your life? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That you're going to be doing for the next 20 years of your life?
Yeah, it's that role, because when it's when it's you, when it suits you, and when it's something you can I could just see myself doing it. So and you can put so much of yourself into it, and that's why I chose to set my business up, because I didn't want to be limited by someone telling me how I do my coaching, who to, and all of that. So yeah, it's having that expansiveness with it that makes me think, it's limitless, the potential. So just go for it.
Amazing. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing where you go next. I really thank you for giving us your time, sharing your experience, sharing your passion, and those beautiful images of the river and supporting people with those. So thank you so much, Marisa.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me, Ruth.